Welcome back. Undecided Future. We have the whole Undecided Future. Everybody in Undecided Future. We got them all. How's it going, everyone? Should we go one by one, or you guys just want to all say it at once?
We're doing great.
Speak for the group.
Just
We're
speak for
doing
the group.
great.
Speak for the whole group. There you go. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go real quick here. I like the shirt. The what is that? 1933 shirt.
93.
93, 1990. Hey, good year. That's a good year. A
It's
lot of
great.
good people born that year.
Yeah, I heard
A
that.
lot of good people came out of that.
A lot of good people.
Name 3 of their albums, bro.
Yeah, name
In
three.
3 albums, bro.
Three, 1993.
Three people born from.
People born from 1993. I can name all my albums. Trust
Oh
me.
yeah.
All my albums. All 0 of them.
That
I
was
dig the headband. Dig the headband. I have the same one. I should pull it out, but I don't have it right next to me.
Thanks.
Just want to
my-
point out the clothing that I dig. All right, just want to point out the clothing.
My
that
sponsors
I
are
dig.
going to be happy. Thank you.
Yeah. He's wearing your merch, right at the top there. And that's wearing your merch. There you go. So I want to start off for people that either maybe don't know a lot about your band or something like that. How did you guys come together? And because you guys, when you're on stage and stuff like that, have so much chemistry and really work well together. So how'd you guys come together?
Yeah, we actually all met in high school. We were like 8th and 9th graders, and we just like literally randomly kind of like became friends. Some of us like had some classes together, and we all just we started jamming at Matisse's house, and then eventually I think by the end of like 9th grade we just formed a band, and we just like started hitting it off from high school. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just friends from the beginning. That's great. That's probably
yeah,
the
and
best way to do
then
it.
9 years later, we're all still kicking it, still jamming, still making music. So
Yeah, and the music you guys make is so upbeat and so like it has like a retro feel to it. Very 90s-esque, I would say. Is that where you get a lot of your inspiration from for your music?
Totally. Actually, we started playing ska music when we first got together. We
Oh,
played like,
really?
the whole range. But Matt's got a really poppy voice, and I feel like we're all like super interested. We actually came from like a wide range of backgrounds in music, but we've all like really gotten into like soul and like R&B music recently, and I feel like just kind of come into the vibe. It's just like the most fun music to make, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
definitely feel like the 90s, a lot of, oh, okay, get that fucking shit upstairs. That 90s music, like a lot of the hip hop is like definitely influencing us nowadays, because I never thought we'd be going more into like a modern like hip hop, pop, contemporary kind of lane, but it's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, speaking of the hip hop, especially like you're talking about that old hip hop 90s hip, you have Dem Joints is part of your thing. I was gonna bring that up a little later, but it transitions right into that. He's helped producing the new music, and is it his label you're signed to, the You Made Us What We Are? Is that his label, or what is that
Yeah,
exactly?
it's a label he created for the artist that he's like closest to that he's working with right now. So Khan is an artist on his label, Stallone, Undecided Future, and Keydrawn just got added to his label, which is super cool.
Yeah, so how did that partnership come about?
We actually got connected with a girl named Carmony, who's a modeling and talent acting. She runs an agency basically for modeling and talent. So we became connected with her and instantly hit it off over like a dinner one night. And then she said, "Hey, I really want you guys to meet Dem Joints. I think there could be something worthwhile here." And then we all went to the studio at Dem's place in Chatsworth over in LA. And then I think we just made a song that day we met him. And the song, was it?
He was Thump.
Yeah, we made Thump the first time we met him.
Yeah.
And then we felt the vibe, and we connected with him right then and there. And we started making music with him, and kind of built this really awesome friendship with him.
That's amazing.
yeah, now fast forward 2 years later, we got Keydron Bryant is now working with You Made Us What We Are, and he got our label and him partnered with Warner Records. So Keydron's working with Warner and a bunch of people, and we've been lucky enough to actually work on a lot of his tracks that he's been dropping, and we just did one that was on Good Morning America with Keydron. There's a cover of Mercy Mercy Me for this EP with ESPN's Undefeated.
Oh wow, wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Big moves.
Yeah, what was your reaction when you heard that he's getting partnered with Warner? That's huge.
Yeah, we were just like, dang, like this thing's taking
And it was
off.
crazy. We actually woke up one day and we're like, hey, did you guys see that Dem Joints is viral now? And we're like, checked out this video that Dem made with Keydron. I don't know if you guys saw it, but that's kind of how they got connected as well, like Dem and Keydron. And then LeBron reposted their video and like so many other huge influences.
Dre.
It's kind of insane. Dr. Dre, of course.
Yeah.
So that was like crazy for us to see. And then he said he had like all kinds of labels coming into him after that. So
I'm sure. I mean, I was just looking over some of the people he's worked with, and there was like Anderson .Paak, Eminem, Kanye, Schoolboy Q, Pusha T, like all these. I was like, wow, this guy's been around for a while. This is a huge deal.
dang, Rihanna.
Yeah, he's
Rihanna,
crazy.
Janet
And the crazier thing is that he's just like so humble and so cool, and like he really treats our whole label like family. So anytime Keydron's got something, like he tries to get like the whole team involved in it, and it's like it's such a beautiful thing to be a part of like his situation, because he's just so like down to have everybody contribute. You know, he's just like so ready to have like all of us on board, which is so nice.
Really interesting because I feel like you don't see that with most labels. Everyone, I mean, a lot of people collaborate, but with Keydron and us, it's kind of interesting. We're kind of like filled in as his like backing band and like like some harmonies, backing band, and then he's kind of just taking the lead. And I think that's the first time we've ever done that for an artist, and it's pretty cool to start doing that.
Absolutely. And so with the current climate we're in now, has the current situation changed how you guys are doing things or had any effect on the music? What is it like trying to make music right now?
So when quarantine actually started, we were doing sessions through Zoom because we each have our own studios at our own house. So we're just doing that through Zoom. We were actually doing some sessions with Dem as well through Zoom for a little bit. But then we started kind of just meeting up. But recently we haven't been making too much music for like any specific purpose, just kind of like for fun. But recently we've been just working on this videos and content and like a bunch of other stuff because we have a bunch of songs that are ready to go and just need like videos and visuals and stuff like that right now. So, but we're actually trying to make some new music pretty soon. I think tomorrow we're meeting up actually to work on some new stuff. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, but I guess like that Zoom situation was kind of cool because we were able to all work remotely. Like, so I would send vocal tracks, Nick would send keys and harmonies, and like Matisse would send his drums, like Cole would send guitar, Chris would send bass, and we'd all send them into like a joined Dropbox that we all had. And then Dem would be on the other side sharing his computer screen, just mixing it all on Pro Tools. So it was like we were all like working remotely on tracks. And I guess like we were one of the only people doing that in the beginning. Like no one had thought to like set up Zoom recording sessions. And I guess like somehow we got the attention from Dre that we were doing that. And so Dre actually sat in on one of our Zoom sessions in the beginning of quarantine and just like kind of saw how it operated, like helped out on the song that we were working on. But it was kind of cool, like just being like, we were just like ready to not let it be an excuse.
Yeah.
And so we just like kept going with it. So
Yeah,
kinda
making
cool.
use of the technology.
At the beginning of quarantine too, like, cause we were playing a lot of shows before, so obviously like cuts off our shows completely. So I remember like we'd be kicking it on Zoom anyway. Like I remember like we'd be like, like having drinks or whatever, like playing Jackbox, just hanging like separately. It's so hilarious.
Oh,
But pretty
Jackbox,
awesome.
that's great. So you guys, between team bonding and the Zoom stuff, were always in link with each other, even when you couldn't be obviously meeting up and doing stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and we have like the most annoying group chat known to man. So like, that,
So do we.
So what would you say so it sounds like you guys had a plan pretty quickly, but what would you say the most difficult part of all of it was, other than obviously not being in the room? Like, was it getting timing down between instruments, or what would you say the most difficult part was having to do it through Zoom?
I think the vibe,
Low
creative
key,
vibe
low
is
key,
different.
it's kind of easier.
When
But
everyone
it's kinda like,
I think the creative vibe is different. It's like if we're all in a room with Dem joints, Dem is going to be able to sometimes offer us more ideas because like Dem is like really cool in the way he'll be like, oh Cole, play like a diddly-dib-dib or some like random ass thing on guitar, and I'll be like, oh, I never thought to play that, and I'll just do that. But with Zoom, it's kind of just like you go in your own zone, send your tracks, and it works really well. So it's like both ways are effective, but I don't know. I think the creative vibe, that's what's the difference. It's just like maybe there's more like vibe when we're all together, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounded like you guys, it's one of those, that meeting could have been an email type things. You're like, yeah, it's actually much easier to do it. Just everybody do it on their own and send it in. So I really wanted to talk about, I know it was a couple years ago now, but the Best Cover Ever, the episode with Jason Derulo. So how did that happen? Like, who pointed it out to you? How'd you find it? How'd you get involved with that?
That was our old manager, and just happened. Like he was like, "Hey, you guys should make a video because I know this guy who's got this show on YouTube." And so we kind of just had like a day to pull it together, did it, and then next thing we know, they invited us out to the YouTube space, and then honestly, they shot in like a weekend. Like it was over. It was a really quick, cool experience.
It was right in the studio for a full weekend. You get it all done, and it's all that. With Jason Derulo, you made the cover with him. How was that experience working with somebody that, you know, is very, very big in the music industry?
It was super fun. We actually, so first off, we had to do the audition video, which was not the one that we sent him, but we had to perform in front of him and Ludacris for the first time.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know we were performing for them that day. And
they just kind of sprung it on you.
yeah, it was really crazy actually. Definitely very nerve-wracking, but it was really, really fun. So I think that kind of like calmed us down a little bit. So when we did the video with Jason later, we were like super like, yeah, this is super easy. Like we got like we just won the show. Like hell, like yeah. So like it was actually like a breeze.
Cooler about it. Wait, come on.
Oh, you're super quiet now.
Yeah, we kind of lost you there.
There we go. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yep.
There you go.
There you are.
I was gonna say, like, one of the cooler things taken away from that experience too was like not only like working with him because that was really cool, but also like working with like Ricky Minor and like all these people that are like super big on like more of the actual like music side of things. Because like when we were producing and working on the track for Want to Want Me, we were going through I think it was it Atlantic or was it Capitol that they recorded. Capitol, yeah, they recorded like a bunch of stuff at Capitol with Ricky Minor, and that was like honestly a cooler thing to see, like our project get fleshed out by like something bigger, you know. That was really an interesting thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Now, really quick, before we go to the next one, what made you pick a Jason Derulo song?
It just wasn't Katy Perry, so
Well, we actually we're like, you know what?
Not that.
Charlie Puth. I feel like looking back, we should have chose Charlie Puth. But we're like, Charlie, nah. But then we're like, Jason, he seems like a chiller. Let's go.
Yeah,
So,
we're like just go basing off of like song choice and vibe of the.
but Charlie Puth seems chill.
So when it came to that, they told you like who's going to be there, and they said choose one of these artists.
Oh, it was like, that's how
Yeah.
was it was like
Was
they
they
were
had-
showing online on YouTube, and there's like a bunch of different artists.
They had it for like they had the artists, and then they also had like very specific. You had to cover trumpets first, for example. So like every artist was like, "Hey, you have to cover this Charlie Puth song if you're doing Charlie Puth." You know what I mean? So
Interesting.
we're like,
Yeah.
It seems
Okay.
like something we can make funky, so let's just do it. You know?
No, the cover of Trumpets was great. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved all the covers that you guys did. Like I said, I like the very upbeat and like the 90s funky vibe. I really do like it a lot.
And
hell yeah. I mean, music like should be like a really positive release. So like, I feel like that's like our positive release to the world is like our music. So.
Absolutely. And you guys said on your website that you work and do shows for a lot of different local charities around LA area. And what are some of those charities and how did you guys get so passionate about getting involved in that?
We've played a lot. We played I'm pretty sure like a Down syndrome and a breast cancer awareness. One was at the Anaheim um,
Angel Stadium.
Angel Stadium. That's what it was. Yeah, Angel Stadium. That was actually crazy. And then we actually played like we played just a bunch here and there. And
Chris, you wanna talk about
they're kind of just opportunities that came to us, and we just know, like, these are opportunities for us to like do the right thing and like, just keep widening our audience too.
Yeah, do something good for the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of those shows have been like the most fun too. Chris's first
Yeah.
show
Also, like some of the
Oh yeah.
was Rad Camp this year, and we played that last year too. But that's like literally like the most lit crowd we've ever played in front of, and it's just like genuine like connection between us and the audience, and the kids are like banging on the tables and stuff, and it's so like it's crazy. It's so like so it's actually really fun.
Now, you guys, I mean, obviously try to bring the vibe every time you come out. How much more fun is it when it's like that, where like you're bringing the vibe, but the crowd's giving it right back? Like, just everybody's working together.
Change the entire like show, like
Yeah.
around, like depending on what the show is, obviously. But if there's a huge like audience reaction, like we're just gonna play completely like not different, but like way better. Or sometimes like low key, I like too much adrenaline, and I'll like start like rushing like on drums. That's just me. No, but it definitely like adds a whole new element to it.
So you guys have a excellent following. How do you promote yourself? How do you promote your music? Obviously now you have people that help you, but like even when you're first starting, how did you promote yourself?
It's really just us playing a lot of shows, local shows, and just word of mouth, telling our friends. Always, being annoying, telling our friends we just dropped a song. Just being consistent. We've been doing this for 9 years, and we just have been playing probably more than like 500 shows together. And yeah, it's really word of mouth. We haven't put any money into advertising, which we want to, but we just don't know where to put it yet. But
I think we have a few times.
like a couple $100, but nothing serious.
Yeah, crazy. But I think also like the content we've also like over the past like years, like we've always tried to like provide some kind of like concept for a vibe, whether it be a song or a project, so or just make it fun and like either funny or like just something that'll grab your eye.
Yeah, speaking of which, and grabbing your eye, outfits that you guys have, at what point did you guys develop that style? Like, obviously, you guys are all good vibes, and your Spotify headers got some really awesome outfits in it. At what point did that get recommended, or, like, whose idea was to, like, fit the outfits like that? Because those are some awesome outfits. I appreciate that.
I think we took inspiration from Matisse. I would say so. Matisse was always vibing out in some crazy outfits. And we're like, oh dang, he gets so much crazy attention when we're like walking in public with his massive fur coat. We're all wearing massive outfits.
So Matisse is the style icon of the group?
In a way. We'll give
In a way.
Yeah, and then actually,
I think we all have our own like styles. I just think mine's like kind of loud sometimes, but I appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're all like we all got our own thing going on, because I feel like something that a lot of people tell us like is like, oh, I like that you all like have your own like different style. That's what I liked a lot about a lot of older bands like Earth, Wind & Fire and the Whispers and all that kind of stuff. Like they all just have their own thing going on.
So if anybody's out there looking, they can find you on Spotify, River B Nation, Bands in Town, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I imagine all 3 social medias, right?
Sir.
YouTube. Where else can they find you?
We're on Twitter. We're pretty dumb on Twitter. It's a good one.
I'm on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you guys have anything coming out? Anything you want to promote?
We have a new music video and a song coming out probably within the next month or two. It's called Condensation. So we'll sneak peek right there. That's the name.
Hopefully, it's come out by the time this interview comes out.
That'd be great.
And time it
great.
perfectly. Same day, same time.
Same time.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, but we're also doing this virtual tour. So we actually traveled from I think they told you in the beginning, but we did that tour from San Francisco to Portland, and right now we're actually going to be filming the LA and Santa Ana ones. So the San Francisco one just came out, and we're going to be filming the LA and Santa Ana ones pretty soon.
So really quick with that virtual tour. So you're saying you're going to this, and this. How is that working exactly? Like, you're traveling there, and you have like a stage that you're doing, and then putting it out there?
So we actually hopped in a van, like a 15-person van, about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and we literally like took 5 days out of a weekend and a little bit of a week, and we started from San Francisco.
From here.
Slept in. Did we sleep in Portland that day? Yeah. We slept in San Francisco or Sacramento. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then the next day we drove to Portland, just driving. Next day, shot in Portland and Seattle at the same day. And then the next day we just started making our way back.
Awesome.
It was crazy.
That sounds crazy. That sounds great though. Is it easier to do it that way, seeing as, I mean, there's obviously setup and everything, but it's easier to do it that way because there's not as much that goes into the show with people not coming in?
Yeah.
That's definitely a big part of it. Well, actually, you never know, because in some way it could be easier because there's like equipment there for us to just plug in. But at the same time, our setup was like pretty awesome. It was like literally just a computer, an interface that has enough channels for all of us. I think it was like 8 channels or 16 channels. I don't even know. 16 channels.
Yeah. Also, just like overall safety, it just made more sense to like do it this way. Just with everything that's going on, like, you know, just like made more sense for our safety and for like everybody, like not having super close quartered shows yet. And once we can figure out how to do like a more like distance show, we've done a couple so far, but yeah, we want to set it up more so we can have like an actual live show for people next time.
That's awesome. And where can people find these shows?
YouTube.
You find it
YouTube, baby.
All on YouTube? Awesome.
Perfect.
The only thing we can really do at the moment tour.
Yeah.
Or just Undecided Future.
So follow them on everything. Go to undecidedfuture.com to find all this stuff. You can find all their pages and stuff like that. Guys, thank you again. Everybody here, thank you for joining us. We appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much.
Thanks for having us.
So look up to the sky, keep your eyes on the lights tonight. If I'm all that you need, come on, we can take it down my way. Give a new definition to the highway, so good that we ain't even need the